Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It is time for your Leeds versus Norwich pre-match chat. It's been labelled as a relegation six-pointer, and we're only 10 games into the season. But it's got that feel about it, hasn't it? And that, as a Leeds fan, is just not great to be thinking or hearing when we're only 10 games in and considering where we finished last season. But we're going to break down the game, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. Before we do that, please smash a like on this and please subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in, hit that notification bell as well. And what I'm going to ask now as well, guys, I've just recently acquired a PlayStation 5. That's why this is out a little bit later, because I got excited and started buying loads of equipment and all this sort of stuff. But the reason I've done that is because I want to start doing Twitch. I want to start a Leeds United career mode, FIFA Ultimate Team, and so much more. So the reason I'm telling you that, the link is in the description. Please subscribe to my Twitch. We're nearly on 100 followers already, which is absolute scene. So if you could do that for me, that would be great. But let's get into the main reason for this video. It is, of course, Leeds versus Norwich. So, guys, yeah, look, Norwich, not a great side. Let's be honest. And I'm so scared about saying how poor they are because the Leeds fan in me knows that we're getting beat tomorrow. Do you understand what I'm saying? I say tomorrow, it's Sunday. My apologies. But there's that thing inside me that goes, you guys know that have watched this as well. I've said for weeks, this isn't no flash in the pan. I've said for weeks that Norwich will beat us regardless of results up until this point. Now, when I actually take that Leeds, that head off, of course we should be beating Norwich. But I'm petrified. I do think we will win, but there's that sinking feeling that they're going to beat us. But let me just run through Norwich as an entity, as a side. Obviously, come up to the Premier League, drop straight back down. Come up to the Premier League, drop straight back down. They have that, top 26 mentality. That's what Stuart Webber set the club out. They don't spend a hell of a lot of money. And they just yo-yo. They are the epitome of the yo-yo side. And look, they have not started this season well. Not started the season well at all. Struggling to, score goals, get points. Only 2 points on the board so far this season. Draws against Brighton and Burnley. I mean, we've got a draw against Burnley ourselves, so are we in a similar sort of vein? I just think, look, Norwich, for example, they have the joint worst goal difference at this stage of a Premier League season, which is -21 ever. Alongside Chef Wednesday, guys, back in 99-2000. So they're up for breaking records. So at this stage of a season, to have -21 goal difference, it's actually equaling a record that was set by Chef Wednesday back in 99-2000. So again, Leeds United fans, there is a reason to be confident. You know what I mean? They have a very, very leaky defence. Obviously, they conceded 7 goals last time out. And if they were to win this game, let's say, hypothetically, they'd have to score 2 goals because they're going to concede. And I know a lot of Leeds United fans, mate, well, where are going to goals from? But I'm confident, based on the fact that Norwich have conceded so much this season, that Leeds United will get at least 1, which then means Norwich have to score 2, all right? They've only scored 2 all season. They haven't scored 2 in 27 straight top-flight games. 27 games. They haven't scored more than 1, They've attempted a low league shot, 89 shots. That's the lowest in the league. 9.89 per match on average. They've just got 2 goals. And Teemu Pukki is the only Norwich player to score across their last 1,256 minutes of Premier League football. Everything points to a Leeds United win. Surely. They've got loads of new faces. Almost too many. They've tried a number of formations. They came up initially in the first half of games. They went, front foot, tried to be the protagonists in games, wasn't working. Daniel Tharker wants to stay in the division. Of course they do. Norwich want to stay in the division. So they've then switched it up, tried to be more solid defensively. But do they have the players to be that? Looking at the numbers and the amount of goals conceded, you'd have to say no. The 7 conceded against Chelsea. I know they had 10 men, and I know Chelsea are a much better side, but the defending was woeful. I was listening to a Norwich fan speak about it as well, and just on the points that they have got, because I've seen people say, well, they got points against Burnley and Brighton, they're okay, they're not as bad as you would think. But listening to a Norwich fan said that neither of them sides really showed up on the day. You know, so many changes of formation. I think more recently they've opted with a 5-3-2 with the wing backs. No Billy Gilmore. I don't know why he's not been playing. He wins the Champions League with Chelsea. He's a hot prospect. Norwich not getting games, whether that's due to the switch up. Todd Cantwell. Apparently there's been a falling out between him and Daniel Farke. Do you know what I mean? He's sat at home. He's not been, and when I hear that as well about Billy Gilmore and Todd Cantwell, I'm thinking we should go in January. Take Billy Gilmore. Have a go at Todd Cantwell. Because he's not even getting a look in after a falling out. They've got no Ben Gibson. He's going to be suspended as well. He was another summer signing. Obviously, they had him on loan in the Championship. But again, Ben Gibson, Grant Hanley at the back. Surely, Leeds United should win this game. Max Aaron's decent wing back. I think across the back, they'll have Kabak, Hanley. And again, like I say, no Ben Gibson. I'm going to murder this kid's name, but it's Omabadeli. Omabadeli. That's what I'm going for, right? Omabadeli. All right. But he's going to line up across the back three, I believe, with no Ben Gibson being in the side. Brandon Williams, another new signing, obviously on loan from Manchester United, likely to start at left wing back. Just on Kabak as well. Like Kabak, I remember Liverpool fans telling me with the next thing since sliced bread, and now he's at Norwich and they're conceding 7. So it can't be all that. I think they'll go with a midfield 3. McCann. There's another new signing in Lise Malou. I'm not sure if Rashika will play. It depends how they switch up the formation. I think Norman will go in the midfield 3 and Pookie and Sargent up top. Obviously, I don't know if any of you see the other week Josh Sargent's effort at goal. It was really poor. We should be beating them. Everything tells me, just based on the numbers and everything that they've done this season, we should be beating them. And Leeds United have reason to be confident going into this game. I thought we had a great result against Wolves. Okay, the fan base maybe dipped down a bit after the Arsenal one, but let's just remove that. It's probably wish that game never happened in between the Wolves result and the Norwich one. But Leeds United have a great record against teams that are in the relegation zone as well. If I remember going back to last season, anyone in the bottom 6 we beat, and we beat with ease. Now, naturally, I know that's changed this season, because if you look at Burnley and Newcastle, we drew with both them sides, but we still got points. We're still undefeated, winning 6 and drawing 2 against them relegation sides over the 2 seasons that Marcelo Bielsa's been in charge in the Premier League. We have a decent record, against them bottom 3-6 teams, however you look at it. We're hearing as well that Firpo and Rafinha are back. He said likely, which worries me a little bit, but I'm expecting Firpo and Rafinha both to start on Sunday. No Bamford, he's going to be out. Phillips is fine though. Obviously played on Tuesday. It did look a bit shaky against Arsenal at times, but that's ring rust, that's match sharpness. You can understand now why he didn't play him against Wolves, but he's back in the side. So Firpo, Rafinha, Calvin automatically just makes us better. But no Erling Bamford or Koch just yet. Stuart Dallas as well. I just want to pay props to him, because there's a lot of us, myself included, have questioned Stuart Dallas's ability this season and whether or not he was on the decline. And people that said they didn't, okay, you might be in a minority, but a lot did. And we know that he had the passing of one of his very close childhood friends. He's had COVID. He's not mourned. He's not whinged. We've not been aware of this. You know what I mean? He's just got on with his job. And I could see the impact the Elland Road crowd had on him specifically against Wolves. Because I said to you last week, that first half, he was poor. Second half from 70 minutes onwards, back to the Stuart Dallas we know and love. And I think him coming out and getting that stuff off his chest and explaining really to the fan base, in a sense, what he's been going through, it will just improve. I'm expecting a man of the match performance from Stuart Dallas on Sunday, genuinely. Bielsa spoke about him as well, and just spoke about the period that he'd been going through, playing on through grief, and said willingness and mental fortitude are the most dominant traits of his personality. Not only did we respect his decision, but we gave it a lot of value, him continuing to play. He spoke about Harrison, because we know he's been out of form, and he said, look, I can't praise his performance up until now, but he thinks several players are short of consistency. I think we all agree with that. Click, even Dallas, as I've just mentioned, there's a number of players, but he said Harrison will shine again. And I expect Leeds United to shine on Sunday. I do. I just think the amount of chances that Norwich will give us, we will take them. I put Rodrigo in my FPL team. I think he'll start up top. I am confident. I am nervous, really, really nervous. On Sunday, it'll be a bag of nerves because everything tells me we'll win. But I have to try and take the emotion out of it and sit back. And knowing what I told you about Norwich, just think about them things, Joint worst goal difference ever in the Premier League at this stage of a season. Yeah? They've not scored more than 2 goals in 27 straight top-flight games. They've attempted a low league 89 shots. They only have 2 goals this season. 2 goals. Loads of new faces. Almost too many, you would say. Different formations. Are the players scratching their heads? Leeds United got a positive result against Wolves. Rafinha comes back in the side, who, by the way, against Wolves in that first half was absolutely unbelievable. Firpo back in, and I think Firpo starts. We'll talk about that Leeds United lineup. I expect it might initially line up as a 4-1-4-1, but I expect us to go with a 5-3-2, sort of match them up. I expect the 3 centre-backs will be Llorente, Cooper, and of course Pascal Struijk. Meslier in goal. Right wing-back or right mid will be Rafinha. Just take care of that whole flank. On the left-hand side, I'm expecting Junior Firpo. Although it may look like Dallas, will be playing right back, etc., but I expect Dallas to come into midfield alongside Matthias Klick. Calvin will play in the DM, and I expect Dan James, for me, will line up top alongside Rodrigo, like we've seen in the first half against Wolves. You might find, though, that Junior Firpo might not quite make it, and Harrison plays there. But the wing backs for me will be the wingers and fullbacks, if that makes sense. We'll have three centre backs, Calvin in front of them. I expect the midfield to be Dallas and Klick. To be honest, I would like Forshaw to play, but I just don't think you can play Forshaw, Dallas, and KP because there is not really any attacking output as such. We need Klick. Klick was brought on against Arsenal because he gives you something different to Forshaw. There were a lot of openings in that first half that Bielsa felt Klick would take advantage of. He didn't. It didn't work. But for that, you can't, for me, have KP, Dallas, and Forshaw. There's just nothing there. That proves obvious that we need, that attacking midfielder. We need a Conor Gallagher. We need a Todd Cantwell. We need someone of that ilk that can do something a little bit further up the pitch. But for me, it'll be KP, Dallas, Klick. I expect on the left, it could be Harrison or Firpo. I'm going to say Firpo, but Jack Harrison, we know, can do a job. I know Junior Firpo really excelled in that position whilst at Betis before he moved to Barcelona, so it might be worth having a look at him if indeed he does start. And I expect Dan James to be up top alongside Rodrigo. Now, it'll be interesting because we know he played that first half there against Wolves, and Bielsa said he weren't that enamoured by him, so maybe he won't do that and he'll play Dan James on the left, and Jack Harrison, we know he's played in the false 9 before in the first season under Bielsa. We've not seen much of it since, is the reason for that. But genuinely, the lineup for me, it fried my head a little bit. It did fry my head a little bit. I think we've only ever gone in this sort of formation against a side like this against Sheffield United. So we haven't seen it all that often under Bielsa. So it'd be interesting to see how that one works out. So I think like Shackleton won't be in there. I don't expect Forshaw to be playing. Harrison or James might both go in. One may miss out. I'm not too sure. But it's going to be a very, I can't say tough. I think Leeds United should be comfortable. I do think we should be comfortable. I know not a lot of people will want to hear that and will agree with that, like where the goal's going to come from. We're in poor form, but we're playing a very poor Norwich side. Now, of course, they could turn up and turn into prime Barcelona. Daniel Farke can be saying to these lads, look, we played these in the Championship not too long ago. They ain't all that. We beat them. You know, admittedly, there's a big turnaround of players, but Leeds United have improved as well, you know, from them days. And I am confident. I was saying yesterday 4-0. I've had time to think about that. And I'm still going 4-0. I'm going, man. I'm going. It is what it is. We win the game for me. We win the game for me. And I think we will create so much, especially with Rafinha. I think he'll create so much. And I expect Rodrigo to get on the score sheet. I just think defensively, Hanley, Kabak, the other fellow that'll come in for Ben Gibson, I'm not going to butcher his name again. I think we'll have too much for them. Whoever starts on the left, if Dan James come on, Dan James off the back of Hanley. We have too much for Norwich, and I'm sticking my neck out and I'm saying 4-0. But, you know, give me a 1-0 last-minute goal now. I'll take it. I'll take it. What we can't do is lose this game. If we lose this game, shit, it's the fan. Shit, it's the fan big time. I'll probably delete Twitter for a good while, because then we've got Leicester. But we could be the final nail in Daniel Farke's coffin for sure. But yeah, I hope from this, like taking the emotion out of it and everything that we know about Leeds United, think about what Norwich possess, what they give, what they've done this season. We've got to be beating them. We've got to be beating them. And anyone that tells you not to be confident, because you have every right to be. Because yes, we've been poor, but they've been poorer. Do you know what I mean? And are poor. So for me, we've got to beat them. Know that if we don't, then yeah, second season syndrome and all that jazz that I don't believe in's back. It's real. But look, man, I'm going to leave it there. I've waffled on enough, but I'm confident in this game. I'm going to go for 4-0. Rodrigo gets on the score sheet. Rafinha, maybe even Mateus Click. Too much for them. Too much for them, I think. It's going to feel like to me like when we were putting teams to the sword in the Championship. That's what it's going to be. 4-0 Leeds United. I'm that confident. Let's do this. I'll be doing a watch-along for the game. Make sure you join me for it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy Saturday if you can, because the nerves will be brutal all the way up to Sunday. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, because I'll be on there on Saturday as well. And yeah, I'll leave it there. Peace out now. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds!